We will hear now Robert Carlson from World Farmers Organization as a voice for farmers as well.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and thank you, everyone, for the opportunity to be here. I'm going to condense what I had to say. Our focus as World Farmers Organization is on how do we get farmers to have a voice in the research they need, and then how do we get them to express that voice and to apply the research that is available or that they want to get accomplished to their farms so that they can increase production, improve their lives, and improve food security for the world. That is also the goal, as I see it, of the GCARD roadmap, that 6-point plan. And let me just discuss a couple of those points in the plan that I think could use some modification, not a change in direction, not a chart off the map or anything like that, but just a little modification, and I think a little more room in the car or the truck for the farmers along that roadmap. One of the points, the second point in the GCARD roadmap, is the need for true and effective partnership. Let me say that partnerships are at least two sides, maybe more, but at least two sides. And on the farmer side, I'm going to be frank with you, I think we farmers need to do more on the partnership side to get farmers involved in the process of research. Farmers want research. They do. They know it's important. They know, especially in this time of climate change, that they need help in adjusting to variations in climates, pests, increased demand for food. They know they need research. They want research. But we need to get them in partnership with the actual researchers to have a dialogue on what can work and what is practical. Not a wish list of dreams, but what is practical to be done on their farms that can help them. The farmer needs to say what they need. The researcher needs to say yes, and this is how we can go about trying to accomplish that. Greater capacity to generate action is, I think, the fourth point in the roadmap. If that means greater capacity to build farm organizations, that's fine. We need to do that. We need to get organized farmers in all parts of the developing world, especially smallholder farmers who sometimes lack that very institution, a farm organization, to help them express their voices and to disseminate information to farmers. I agree with that, but there's no magic bullet there. There's no magic way to accomplish that. You can't impose a desire for people to speak. They need to come up from the ground with that desire. They need to be maybe inspired, they need to be motivated, but they need to feel ownership. They need to speak for themselves. And I would say to get things going, because we do need to get things going, we need to get research applied. Let's always keep in our minds what my friend, a woman farmer from Africa, said to me at the end of a long meeting, a UN-sponsored meeting about a year ago. She stood up in the back of the meeting, or not in the back of the meeting, she stood up at the end of the meeting and asked a question. And it was after a long session of concluding about what the meeting had come to, and she said, "This is all very fine, and you're all very intelligent, and you're all very educated, but how is this going to help me on my farm to make it better?" That is what the voice that keeps ringing in my head as we look at all these processes and all these cross-cutting committees and all the things we need to do. That's inevitable. We need to have processes developed. But we need to get action down on the ground where the farmer is, and we need to see success stories. We need to be practical, and we need to be able to measure those projects that we form as partnerships, and we need to be able to hold the partners accountable. Having said that, we also need to understand that we won't have instant gratification in these projects. They're not easy, they're not quick, and sometimes you have to fail in order to learn how to succeed later. We need to have some patience, but we do need to have accountability, and we do need to have the ability to measure the projects. In sum, the GCARD roadmap is usable, it's useful, it's forward-looking, but it does need a bit more detail and more definition. And as I said, a larger space on the road for farmers. Thank you very much.